You know, when you stop to think about it, a sheriff like Commodore Perry Owens didn't have much to work with. He had his horse, his 6-gun, his rifle, his badge, and a lot of courage. How would Ben Pearson, today's sheriff of Holbrook, Arizona, react to that same kind of crime? Well, it's a matter of record. Just a few years ago, a bank robbery occurred in Navajo County, just a few miles from Holbrook, in a town named for the turn of a card, Show Low. Our cameras will recreate the actual crime as you hear the words of Sheriff Ben Pearson.
Jack, it happened in February 1956. 2 men entered the Valley National Bank with drawn guns. The time was 11:55 a.m., just before the noon hour. Almost unnoticed, one moved to the teller's window. Hans Alt suddenly realized it was a holdup. The bag was thrown down. Alt was ordered to fill it, and quick. No one had a chance to press the alarm. Alt stuffed the bag with $12,000. Still waving guns, the bandits backed to the door. The third man had stolen a car from the barber shop across the street. They made a clean getaway. Immediately, Bank President L.J. Welker was on the phone to our sheriff's office. 9 minutes after the robbery had begun, 12:04 p.m. Seconds later, we radioed all patrol cars to set up a roadblock around the town of Show Low, sealing all exits on Highway 66 to the east. We had a complete description of the escape car. First roadblock, long before the bandits could have reached that point. Highway 77 north. 12:10 p.m., another road sealed off. Highway 66 to the south of Show Low. Constant radio contact from our office with all cars. We knew exactly where they were and what was going on. In the west or anywhere, this is how a modern sheriff can operate. We gave orders to stop all traffic, question all drivers, even truckers. One of them might have seen the escape car. 12:15, 11 minutes after we were alerted, every highway had been sealed off. The bandit car was somewhere within that circle. 12:16 p.m. A modern sheriff has eyes and ears in the air, too. By radio, we alerted our patrol planes, gave them a description of the car, and the search went on by ground and by air. Finally, a plane located the abandoned car in a high timber area east of Show Low. We sent officers to the scene, 3:11 p.m. They went to work using all the laboratory techniques perfected by the FBI. Search for lip marks, match packs, anything they could find. Today's outlaws may have fast cars, but they can't escape a fingerprint. We used horses, too, just like in the old days, in case the bank robbers had ridden off the roads into the hills. But now a walkie-talkie goes along with them. On the ground, they found a heavy-duty tire print. The bandits had switched cars, just as they'd switched horses years ago. No fingerprints were found. So our only solid clue was that tire print. A plaster mold of it was made. It was determined to be a new Jeep tire. We identified its brand from our ID catalog of tires, and the canvass began of all tire dealers in eastern Arizona. We had to find out who bought that tire. Our search went on into the next morning, one tire dealer after another. Finally, at the Holbrook Tire Company, we struck pay dirt. We got the name of the buyer and his address. And that's where we found the Jeep. The bank robbers had holed up, never even tried to get out of the circle. We brought them out, all three of them. The entire $12,000 recovered. One clue, a tire track, and they didn't stand a chance. $11:15 a.m., the day after the robbery, they were behind bars.
Less than 24 hours after those bank robbers walked into the Valley National Bank in Show Low, they found themselves walking into Sheriff Ben Pearson's jail here in Holbrook. Two sheriffs of Navajo County, Commodore Owens and Ben Pearson. Trying to compare them is like comparing night to day. They're so different. And yet, each in his own way got the job done. Sheriff Commodore Perry Owens cleaned up the county and ran the tough gunslingers out with little more than primitive courage, honesty, and skill with his weapons. Sheriff Ben Pearson has every modern device known to law enforcement at his disposal, and he uses them like a battlefield general in his continuing war against crime in Navajo County. Joe Battaglia, you asked for it.
Before we say so long, I'd like you to meet some friends of mine. This is Richard Payne of Salt Lake City, Edwin Moeller of McPherson, Texas, and Dorothy Johnson of Phoenix, Arizona. Now, these three people, and all the others that you see behind me, have one thing in common. They're all you aspirate viewers who've written to us suggesting unusual places, people, or performances that they'd like to see on our show. Now, let me ask you, is your picture in our gallery of letter writers? Now, if not, why not let us know what you'd like to see? Perhaps it's a favorite you aspirate feature of the past that you'd like us to present again. In any case, just remember our address. You asked for it, Box 323, Hollywood 28, California. Well, that about does it. So long for now.